Hello and welcome to this very first edition of a new segment we're doing called Our Town. We're here today with Magen McDavid, who is an account executive here at Adirondack Broadcasting. You don't want to miss it. First edition of Our Town, a segment where we go around and interview people in the area, asking about what they do and the businesses that they work for. So today we're here with Magen McDavid, who is an account executive here at Adirondack Broadcasting. Yep. So Magen, can you kind of explain what your role looks like here and what this company is all about?
Yeah, I am an account executive here at Adirondack Broadcasting, fancy word for sales rep. There's 5 stations here that I sell for. I actually was an intern here back in 2005, 2006 on air. So now I'm on the flip side of things, selling radio. And local radio is still the number one form of advertising.
Oh, wow.
It's the best way for local people to get their name out. And we reach 87,000 listeners a week.
Wow.
It's a lot of people in our community. We have community segments. We have commercials, but it is the best way to tell somebody what you're selling.
Mm-hmm. So Magen, if someone were interested in setting up advertisement through the radio station, how would they go about doing that?
A lot of people call. I get leads by, just going around, driving around the community, finding new businesses, people that are, part of the chamber that, become part of the community. Mm-hmm. We also do a lot of NTR events, which we have one coming up at the Queensway Hotel. And it's all vendors that maybe wouldn't necessarily have the budget to do commercials, mm-hmm. but they could come out and sell their product, and we promote them. So we do 4 of those a year.
Okay.
So we did one at the Elks Lodge a few months back, and we do 3 at the Queensway Hotel throughout the year. So that's also fun.
So Magen, you mentioned that you started off as an intern here years ago. Can you kind of walk through what your career has been like from an intern to where you are now?
Sure. So I interned on Froggy back in 2005. After that, I changed pace a little bit, and I was an intern for Dateline NBC, right at Rockefeller Center in New York City, which was a very fun job. I met a lot of amazing and interesting people. I actually helped launch an interview segment, which was a show that was just a pilot series called The Baby Borrowers. So they had these people that were young kids that wanted to be parents at 16, 17 years old, and showing them that life is not as easy and you're not a kid anymore. So the show had these teenagers take people from a baby all the way up to a senior citizen. Wow. So each week of the series, they would get a different age child, and I was part of the reunion series.
Oh, wow.
So one of my jobs one day was, you have to go pick up this gentleman from the airport, take a limo, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm just this 20-something-year-old, maybe, intern, all excited. I got to go to the airport, and it was Dr. Drew, on TV.
Yeah.
So now he's like a huge celebrity, but that was a pretty cool thing. Then I got to bring him and his wife in, and I met a lot of amazing people through that. After that, I then was an associate producer I got my first real paid job as an associate producer at News Channel 13 down in Albany.
Oh, cool.
Or Manans. And that was the graveyard shift for sure. To go into work at 2 a.m. and leave at, 10, 11.
Oh, wow.
But I learned a lot, because you see a lot, you get to do a lot of different things. A little bit after that, I actually had a radio show, morning show. And then after that, I did some TV stuff, and I was a reporter and anchor. Through all of that, I always taught dance. Dance was my passion, so that was just something fun. And after I was a reporter and anchor, I worked for the New York Lottery for 4 years, and I got to hand out prize checks and draw the numbers on TV, which was really neat because my boss was someone that I grew up watching. So it was a little intimidating, just kind of, this is your boss. I'm like, well, I grew up, watching her on TV. So that was the best job. So I didn't think any job could top that. And now I do sales here at Adirondack Broadcasting, and I love it. I have a lot of fun. Everybody that works here is fabulous. I am basically the only female in the building Monday through Friday, so I have to stand on my own, but it's a lot of fun. I love everyone I work with, and the community is great. And, you know, Froggy 100.3 is our powerhouse. It literally, you know, everybody knows Froggy. Same with Q1017. And the Point, we're actually in the Point studio right now.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah. That's very cool. Now, you mentioned, like, numerous times, like, being internships and kind of working your way up to that.
Yeah.
It wasn't something you could just jump really straight into, like, as a career. You had to kind of work for it, really.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And everything, you know, you always, you learn something everywhere you go. And, you know, the internship I had in the city, I would have to take the 4:30 a.m. train to get in there. My internship didn't start till 9:30, but what I did every day is, you know, I wanted to be the first one there and the last one to leave. So I would take the 4:30 train, and then I'd watch a little bit of the Today Show, which was pretty neat. And then I met people through that. So at the end, every Friday, I would actually go shadow Hoda Kotb and Kathy Lee.
Wow. Yep.
They were together then. So I'd go from like 7 in the morning till 9 in the morning on Fridays at the end of my internship. And so I got like a bonus internship out of just kind of going there a little bit earlier and showing that I was interested in, you know, in that position.
Yeah. Now, if someone were interested in, you know, broadcasting or television, or they wanted to just kind of learn more about it, and they were interested in an internship, how would they go about, you know, finding an opportunity like that?
I would say just reach out. Don't be afraid. You know, I sent my resume to, I can't tell you how many people, you know, for internships in general in the city, because I wanted to do an internship in the city. I got offered an internship at MTV, and I was one of 500, and I didn't choose that one. Dateline had 12 interns throughout all of Rockefeller Center, so that was just much more one-on-one versus just being a number. Right. Locally, I mean, it's a great, I mean, don't be afraid. Come on in. Say, I want a job at the station, or, you know, show that you want it, you know, and I think that's in any career, you know, kind of dress for the job you want, not the job you have.
Sure.
You know, although you've seen the memes of like Batman. I don't want to be Batman, but, you know, dress up for the job that you want versus the job you have.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. That's awesome. Now, we're in a studio right now where you guys do some.
This is a little bit.
Stuff.
It's not stuff that I do anymore, but you know, we have the microphones and the board, and then there's always 2 computers, so I can tell you a little bit about that. You know, the songs playlists are on one side, what's coming up, and then there's the editing, so you could edit up.
Okay.
You know, the interview.
Yeah. So really, you have a radio personality.
I do.
You have a host, I guess, come in and record from here. And
so during the weekday, we have, you know, morning show host, the midday, and evening drive, we have an actual production studio. So if you wanted a commercial, we could write it, edit it, get it all on air for you, you know, within the same day if we needed to. Right. So the turnaround time is really quick, and everything's local, which is nice.
Yeah. Now, what's the process when it's recorded in this studio?
Yeah.
You mentioned, like, you got to do some editing, I'm sure, and, like, some different things, but what happens after it's recorded here? I mean, obviously, it's sent out to people.
So I always, you know, on the sales side, I would always want to check with my client, make sure they like it. You know, we could always fine-tune it or change the music bed underneath it, or maybe just go a complete different route. You know, I've had clients where they're like, I like it, I just don't, it's missing something. And then when we finally get it, we love it, and it works. And I've had a client that has been on air for a while, and we switched it up a little bit, and her response has just been fabulous. And it's great to see, like, all right, local business, local radio, and it's working.
Yeah,
so that's always rewarding.
Yeah. Now, what's in your time in broadcasting and television? What's been kind of one of your most memorable things? Well,
I have 2 memorable events. I actually, walking into my internship interview for Dateline was wintertime. I was applying for the summer internship. And so I had on a pair of boots, and I switched from boots to a pair of red high heels, because red is supposed to be confident. So I always wear red at some form of an interview. So I put on my high heels, and like the grid on the floor here, they have a big one right outside. So I went to step in, open the door to walk in, and my high heel broke. And it's a true story. And I'm like, okay, what do? I have like don't even have 2 pennies to rub together to go buy another pair of shoes. My interview, I was literally just on time because I had the train had broken down, so I had to take the bus into the city, and I just, I wasn't familiar. I'm an upstate girl. I wasn't familiar with the city and how to get around. So I said, you know what? I'm just walking like this. And I walked in, with a broken high heel right into the interview. And I'm like, oh my gosh, everyone's probably staring at me. And that was the very first thing I said to Liz, who was the person that was interviewing me, who I actually still keep in contact with her. But so I said, I apologize, but I'm like, my high heel broke on the crate right before, I walked in. And she said, that was very, she was shocked that happened. She saw that I had passion, to be there. I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to get here. And I actually got offered the internship on the spot, which was great because I don't think that always happens. I think we'll get back to you, but I was going to be there.
They noticed the red.
Yeah.
That's what broke off.
So the shoe happened twice. So when I was leaving, I was crossing the street and right by Times Square area because Rockefeller Center's right down that way. And the cop's like, you cannot walk through, cars are coming. And I'm like, but my high heel's broken. So that worked out. And I threw away the shoes. I wish I kept them because I feel like they would have been good luck. But memorable, there's been a lot of memorable events. I've met some amazing people, famous, not famous, just amazing people in the community. Interviewing people for their 100th birthday, to interviewing people that have lost somebody. Right. And that's the fun part in all the business. You get to tell somebody's story. You're just kind of the voice for them. You're the middleman.
Yeah. It sounds like you get to make a lot of really cool connections.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I met great people through it all. Excellent. For sure.
So, Megan, can you tell us about an upcoming event you have in November called the Girls Holiday Night?
So it's our Girls Holiday Expo that we have at the Queensbury Hotel. It's our third annual one, and it goes from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Right at the Queensbury Hotel in Glens Falls. We have roughly around 35 vendors, everything from crafts to maple syrup. A lot of everything, for the most part, is locally made or a local vendor. So you could go and shop and get everything you need for the holidays and still support the local community getting things. And it's a lot of fun. There's a bar. You could eat at the restaurant there. And we always have prizes. So it's a lot of fun. And it's a good way to kick off the holiday season. We're doing it a week earlier this year. So it's the week before Thanksgiving. It's November 17th. So we're getting the holiday started. The holiday season started a little earlier.
Yeah, excellent. And is that an event?
It's a free event.
The public?
Yeah, yep. It's open to the public. We target all the women, but, bring your husbands, bring your boyfriends, bring the men. Everyone could come. But there's something for everyone that you need on that list that you could find there for sure.
Like maple syrup.
Like maple syrup. Who doesn't like maple syrup?
Excellent, yeah. Now, one final question for you. You've had a very extensive career in a lot of things, but where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
That's always, I think, the hardest question to answer in general. I will hopefully still be in the business, hopefully still be here. Have great coworkers, but I also have a little boy. He's 4, so he'll be 9. So I foresee myself at a lot of sporting events, I'm thinking. Maybe, still be that soccer mom. But hopefully I'll still either be here or in the business in 5 years. It's a fun business. It really is. And you could always touch someone's life in it. So.
Excellent. Megan, if someone were interested in finding out more information about Adirondack Broadcasting or how they could advertise through your company, how would they do that?
Just give us a call, 518-793-7733, and we could put you in the right direction.
Excellent. And there's also a website, and we'll put that link down below.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Well, Megan, thank you for your time today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
As always, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to these videos, and be keeping an eye out for future Our Town videos. And as always, have a great day. Now, one final question for you. You've had a very extensive career in a lot of things, but where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Oh, gosh, it's a silly question. Or no, sorry, that again. That's it. I would say silly. I hate that question because I'm like, do you want the honest answer or the real answer?